people like Maya and Briggs, which is a mother-daughter team, invented the Myers-Briggs test, which a lot of people used it for business personality tests. And then, so you have a diagram in your handout that'll show you different groups that use it. You'll find the descriptive one, which is artisan, idealist, rationalist, and guardian. Or you've got the Hippocrates group, which is sanguine, choleric, phlegmatic, and melancholic. Who's heard of that? People who are phlegmatics and sanguines, and then there's the Kisi, and they've got Dionysian, Apollonian, I should be able to say this, Apollonian, Promethean, and Epimethean. It's Greek. All Greek to you. And then there's the Myers-Briggs lot, SP and F and TSJ. Now, the Hippocrates one, which is sanguine, choleric, phlegmatic, and melancholic, I used in my PhD it was also used in someone else's PhD, which I quoted. For example, I'm a sanguine choleric, which is someone who's fun-loving but can be bossy. You've noticed. And can be a teacher type, right? And phlegmatic, I think, is Fred. Quiet, and you think he doesn't know what's going on, but if you ask him, he can give you all the information there is, and he's a doer. He fixes things, right? Melancholic is someone who crosses the T's and dots the I's, like Victor. I think he's a melancholic. And so, I think John is a choleric melancholic, right? Anyway, that's just off the top of my head. So then, here it says, a popular sanguine is sociable, spontaneous, optimistic promoter. Weakness, talkative, loud, forgetful, easily angered. That's supposed to be me. Powerful choleric, mover, resourceful, self-reliant leader. Bossy, frank, impatient, headstrong. Peaceful, phlegmatic, controlled, diplomatic, listener, obliging. Red. Weakness, unenthusiastic, indecisive, slow, reluctant. Perfect, melancholy. Analytic, sensitive, detailed, deep. Weakness, resentful, pessimistic, critical, hard to please. I don't know about that, Victor. I wouldn't say that. So, that takes care of personalities, which you've got in your collection. So the next one, to know yourself, I think he's snoring.
He must be bored.
He's bored. I hope I'm not going to hear anybody else snore.
The dog's eyes are open, I can see.
Oh, he opened because I drew attention to it. So the last one is the 5 languages of love. Now I call this topic language of love because I'm talking about communication and how you can make communication be loving. But this guy, let me sit down for a minute. Is a marriage counsellor, Dr. Gary Chapman, who wrote the book 5 Languages of Love, and it's been translated into several languages. It's a multi-million-dollar seller, and he discovered in his counselling that people communicated in 5 languages. And if people became aware of the other person's language of love, they could avoid having conflict. So the 5 languages, and this goes not only somebody else's language, but your own language. So you can have 1 or 2, but you can pick up from each one moments of what you relate to. For example, words of affirmation or praise. Action don't always speak louder than words. If this is your love language, unsolicited compliments mean the world to you. Hearing the words "I love you" are important. Hearing the reasons behind love sends your spirit skyward. Insults can leave you shattered and are not easily forgotten. Not only that, praise. I find it very easy to say to people, gee, that was really funny. You know, that was really funny. Or that was really good. Or I think you're very good with animals, I say to you, Peter. You know? So you'll find that it comes easy to you to praise people. And when people praise you, you feel really good. It's not that you're just a narcissistic or hedonistic. It's just that it lifts your spirits. The next one is quality time. Quality time means that you prefer people to spend time with you rather than watch TV or have other distractions. If someone says, let's go out and have a coffee, or let's do this, or let's do that. I remember that there was this, my husband's cousin in New Zealand, he was working with my husband. My husband was working late and he came home and I was cooking in the kitchen and the children and he were watching TV. After a while he came into the kitchen and he just sat down and he said, can I help you? Is there anything, you know? I said, no. And so he just sat there and he was talking to me. And I felt so good about that. I thought, this is really nice, you know? It's not something my husband ever did. Not that my husband wasn't good, but it just felt so good that someone would be keeping me company in the kitchen. A man in particular. Receiving gifts. Don't mistake this love language for materialism. The receiver of gifts thrives on love, thoughtfulness, and effort behind the gift. So I also find giving gifts, it's not about expecting something in return, although I do like receiving gifts, but I get a pleasure out of giving people gifts. I've had to stop myself because it can be a bit much, you know. It can make people feel a little bit guilty. Oh, if you give me a gift, I have to give you one back, that kind of thing. But it's also that other language of mine. Acts of service. You get people who like to do things for you, right? It's not really my favourite one, acts of service, but as long as I don't have to make cups of coffee and you know, hi Paul, come in, sit down.
Thank you. Well, we'll have a cup of tea and then you just
Help
carry
yourself.
on.
We're filming this.
Oh, you're filming it?
For the video.
Okay, all right.
So, you know, it's a kind of thing that we do. I know someone that the minute that I get there, she'll want to cook me something, make something, do something. Or if she comes to my place, she wants to do something, and I know that's the way she is, acts of service. Physical touch. And this is not only in the bedroom, but also she talks, she says, how are you? You know, she likes to touch. And that's lovely if you don't mind being touched. Embraces. My son likes to be embraced. I never knew that until I found out through this book and we were talking. So now I try to remember when I see him to give him a hug, which is difficult because he's so tall and slim, you know. I haven't hugged him since he was a little boy. So, you know, I feel like I'm invading his personal space. So I'll say, do you want a hug? Yes, Mum, he says. So, that's your 5 languages of love. If you're aware of what, say, your partner or your family member or somebody else likes, you be more in touch with what pleases them. In conclusion, that's good, one time. Remember, appropriate communication is a priority. It helps with conflict resolution. It helps with making relationships successful. It helps you with your own inner serenity. learn about it if you don't know. I have considered running workshops here, enjoyable workshops for people, and it can be fun workshops for people who want to, and donations to be made, to be given to the Humanist Society, so spread the word around. Life strategy workshops, they're called. I've run them before. But remember one important thing: health, mental and physical health, is the most important criteria for whether you can, what you learn, you can continue to use. Because no matter what you learn, if you haven't got good health, mental and physical, you'll forget to use it. And if you are on your own using it, you forget. It doesn't become a habit. It needs to become a habit for you to be able to do that. I think it needs to be taught in schools. For example, some of the research that I did, which is just here, said that they recommended that it should be taught in school. Here we go. Human relationship education during the school years that provides skill in communication, problem solving and conflict resolution, and which encourages self-esteem, may also prepare young people for mature relationships as partners, parents and community members. This is the one thing what makes the 12-step movement so effective, because there's that repetition. It's a character building program, but it's also the repetition of the self-help movement. People are there to remind themselves that this is the way that you need to behave. And so that becomes a habit then. Okay, I'll finish speaking.